Hello.
Is it on? Hello, Mother.
Hello, iOS fans.
Can you hear us?
Oh.
Hopefully. We don't know yet. We're going to find out if this works. It could all go horribly, horribly wrong.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I hope you had a good one.
We did. I am full of very much cake.
Yes, lots of cake. I've had a brownie since I got here. Very rich, very brown, very tasty brownie. Thank you,
Isn't
Pete.
it very browny?
It was very brownie. It was a very brownie.
It was. We're just seeing if anybody's online and watching us. If you are, and you are on the Patreon side of things, we've been told that the feed's not great from our previous experience, and to go over to the YouTube link, which I believe is in there. Last time Ed was helping us with that, and he spotted that one, so do check that out. We're just making sure that we've got everything working.
Yep. So hopefully you can hear us. I don't know if you can say something in the comments. Oh, Pete's saying hello world. Anybody there? We've got one watcher, it says.
One.
So
So if you are watching, do feel free to throw something into the chat, and we'll answer that. If you've got any questions, feel free to throw us anything.
any bone you have.
Anything at all. Anything.
Right, where to get one of these fabulous mugs from?
Ooh, what a fabulous mug. Where did you get that?
I got it on the Agents of Sigmar official merchandise site.
On the Teespring.
On Teespring, yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, no, I'm running behind.
So anyway, we're going to crash on because, frankly, people might watch, people might not, but we're going to do this anyway.
Are we? Okay, right, fair enough.
Yes.
Well, we can talk about that without any questions.
Well, we played a Gargant game recently, which
did.
will be coming up on YouTube tomorrow. And you Patreon people, you're going to get it the same week. So you're not getting that one a week early. Sorry about that. You will get it ad-free, and you'll have higher quality. And you'll still get the Patreon version on the Patreon page, all linked in and closed off, so you guys can say what you like on there. But we figured we'd throw that one out as a Christmas special.
Yep.
All the YouTubers will then get the following week, which is the one you guys have already seen, so you can sit there and chortle about how much better off your life is than theirs, really. And then there'll be a new battle report for you guys the following week, as always. But I found that quite interesting, that Gargant game.
The garden game, it all got a bit silly.
It did get
really
silly.
spoiled. It's
I don't
certainly
think you can
spoilers.
play it properly, the Gargant game.
You don't think I can play it?
No, I don't think in general anybody can play it seriously.
No, you can't. You couldn't play it so seriously.
Not having the
We did make
objectives.
the odd mistake.
Yeah,
I don't know
few of
how.
them.
I don't know. You've edited it now. I don't know how many actual mistakes there were.
Well, not that many.
Okay, we managed to confuse ourselves massively on the activation front.
Yeah,
Because it's like put some other random person activating in between each of us, or not in between each of us. It started to all get a bit confusing, but yeah, it was good fun, and that I found a slight not artifact with the rules, but once you've played it once, you think, oh, I should have done that.
Just going to interrupt here because Ed is saying they're not getting the stream yet, so I'm just going to start it again and see what's going on here.
Okay.
So let's try it again. Let's try it again. Might have done things in the wrong order because we're idiots, or specifically I'm an idiot.
Take 3.
I am an idiot. I missed just one of the first steps.
Yeah, okay, can they hear you?
Hopefully.
At all?
But probably not.
No, okay.
So here we go. Going live now.
Explains why nobody was listening or answering.
Go live now. Come on. Type is not empty. I have very clearly filled it out. Don't want that.
New live event.
Start an unlisted YouTube live stream. Aha. New live stream unlisted. I don't think I did that bit either. Reading.
You did it private. You were listening it, streaming it privately. That was good.
I'm clicking things, it doesn't seem to do anything. This whole thing's just too much work. It's just, why doesn't it work, Robin?
I don't know. Oh, you don't want to go to it, or do you? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe this is the new version.
Maybe. Are we going to come up? Ooh. That's like a telephone. Ugh.
That's the
That's
wrong
for your
one.
laptop, isn't it?
It is. This worked last time, Robin. Why isn't this working this time?
Are you doing two? Nope.
See, that's on there, and that's streaming.
Right, okay. To where?
Don't know.
You got any more messages?
Can you look on your phone?
To what? See whether we're getting any?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to because I'm not signed in, am I?
I don't know, but I think you were last time.
Can I look? I don't think I ever found it. I'm not a password sender. Certainly not on my phone. I'm not.
Oh, I see.
I've got some messages.
I think there's Patrick and one.
Significant. Oh, Ed's commented on a post here. No stream at the moment. How do we tune in? Okay. I'll put working on it, shall I? Unless you are.
Just done.
Okay.
Right. Post.
Right.
Live stream. That's what we're on. YouTube Live. Start an unlisted YouTube stream. Sure we didn't do it like this last time.
I've got a security update at home. Brilliant.
Add stream info into it. Let's try this one. Ah, wait a minute. Right. Ah, this is coming back to me now. I have to go in here. Show me where to find the link. In links. Ah, Google Hangouts. Links. I think the one watcher is us.
Brilliant.
Where's the link? Ah.
Wrong link. Got it?
That looks more promising. And we didn't get to put the spin. Look, right, I'm doing it now. There we go.
Is that a spin?
I'm annoyed. Didn't spin or nothing.
Thanks
Are
for
you
hours
online
making
now?
that
Can you
spin.
see
Can
his
you
mother?
see us? Hello.
Hopefully, let's see if
Hello.
Ed's
I
got
hope
us
my mother
now.
can't see me.
My mother can see us. We're still on. We're still on. We're still on.
Hello, hello. So if somebody could just say whether you can hear us or not. Oh, hang on a minute. We've got
a ding.
Hey,
Have we got
that was
something?
just Damien telling me he played a few games and enjoyed a beer or three. I've had no beer over Christmas. I had 2 glasses of wine.
I had a couple of glasses of wine on Christmas Day with the mule.
Did you? I was driving my dad home, so I couldn't drink.
Yeah, see, that was part of the reason why we went
Just
out
drove
for a
drunk.
meal.
All right.
Yeah, just drove drunk. It was easier. It was just easier, and it was a bit more fun. Obviously, no, don't do that. Bad. Should never do
Did you
that.
get a taxi? Or...
Yes, taxi there and taxi back.
Oh, I see. I can't imagine going out for a meal. Anybody else go out for a meal at Christmas? I can't imagine doing that.
We've done it a few years now,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot of the hassle away. You just
Is it because you're a rubbish cook?
Well, I don't cook.
Oh, I see. See, I do all the cooking, and I can't imagine letting somebody else do it.
I'm less a cooker, more a burner or a reheater. That's about all I do.
Okay. Can anybody hear us?
Is anybody on there? Can you hear us, Mother? This was going to go so much smoother this time.
Yeah,
didn't.
No.
So hopefully there's a live feed now that you guys can see. Like take 4, something like that. Hopefully somebody's there. Are you there?
Pete's posting lots of feeds. Probably all on top of each other.
We've had take 2. We've had the agents alive. Hopefully now. Hopefully this is it. So hopefully people are going to get the right one in a moment and go to the right place.
I have a message. It says, Ed says, not working for me. Anyone in? Ugh.
Cat says, what did you do last time, Ed? You did fix it for us, Ed. Fix it for us. This worked last time. Why is it not working? Why does technology have to do this?
They can't hear you.
Still talking on the camera. Frankly, I'm just angered.
Right, what are we doing wrong?
If I knew.
Is it worth deleting those other stream posts? They're not still live streaming, are they?
I was just going through and get rid of them.
Okay.
That was just the fact that I'll get rid of this one.
That's not doing anything though, is it?
No, hopefully not. But I'll get rid of it to avoid any confusion from anybody.
Yeah. It appears to be working on.
Stream options. Unlisted. I'm going to post a link in there as well.
Should I ask if that link works? Well, you can do that.
I'm not sure what will happen if I follow a link.
To yourself.
Create some kind of feedback loop. Well, we appear to be on there.
Okay.
So hopefully
Okay.
people will see that link.
Shall I ask? Did you want to ask if that link works?
I've stuck the link in there if people want to try it. Hopefully somebody will. Some brave soul.
No, I'll suggest that they do. I can't even see that link.
that side of it's working at least. We've still got one watcher, which I think is us. Don't know why it does that. One person's watching. Yes, us. Don't tell us about us. Tell us about everybody else. If I go to incognito mode.
Should work, should it?
Should work.
Should it? Oh, because you're...
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why does that work, though? Does it know that you're signed into Patreon?
No, that's the whole idea. This shouldn't work.
It is working.
This should work as long as you got the link.
Ah, with that Patreon link.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So as long as you got that link is only available to whoever we give it to, which is our Patreon peoples. I don't like modern technology.
No. Somebody reply.
Please talk to us.
Where's the commenty bit?
Commenty bits here.
Oh, link is good.
We got Ed.
Yay.
And we've got, I can never remember who LXA.
It's Damien, it says.
Oh, it's
right
Damien.
there.
Sorry, yes, Damien.
Hello, Damien.
Hi, guys. Hooray, we've got 2 of you.
Yay.
You may be the only 2.
Yeah.
So it's a little double date going on here. Hurrah!
Oh,
We're
okay.
online. That was painful. My
Yeah, sorry about
sincerest
that.
apologies. There was going to be this thing, right? You were gonna get this to start with to watch it. See, and that would have rotated, and it would look cool.
So it looked cool. Instead, it looked shit.
We
Didn't
spent
work.
15 minutes going, oh no, come on. Oh,
So,
well.
guys, I hope you had a good Christmas. Did you get any good hobby stuff? I think a couple of you posted up the things you got.
I got nothing.
You got nothing yet, but
Nothing.
you were saying that's by your own design because you don't
Yeah.
ask for anything to avoid
Well, there is
disappointment.
that. Plus, I've got most of the stuff I want at the minute anyway.
That's true.
So,
But what would you have had if you had asked for anything?
Well, maybe I would have asked for something like Blackstone Fortress or something like that. But
Like Blackstone Fortress, you mean?
that's not mine, by the way. That's Robin's. But yeah.
Well,
That is very nice, and we did have a sneak peek inside of it, and the models are just fantastic.
yes, and we do hope to bring you a game of that.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, something
Fingers
we'll
crossed.
discuss today, this
Yeah.
evening, in fact, because we haven't
Yes.
got a lot of questions. So if either of you guys have any questions, do let us know.
I have actually got you a hobby-related present.
Ooh, I didn't know we were doing presents. I
Well,
didn't get you
I'm just a
anything.
little surprise. You, Pete, this is for all your hard work on the channel. I
Ed
just
may
turn
have to
up
run
and
because he's
play.
skiving, he says.
Oh, okay.
Naughty Ed.
Okay.
Okay, I'll open this now so you can see what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't work. I'm going to break
No
whatever's
cheap
inside.
paper. No cheap paper.
This is some quality. What's this? It's an AOS.
It gets cold in our garage, and we haven't got any cushions. So I bought you a cushion.
Brilliant.
Bought you a cushion.
Did you get
to sit
yourself
on.
one?
I did get myself one. Yes.
Yay.
Yeah. I
Oh,
didn't want
that's
to give you
awesome.
both of them in case you gave one to Amelia or something.
He's not getting this.
Yeah,
Mine.
So that's for you to sit on in our garage, and they are actually available in the in the Teespring shop.
On the
Should you
Teespring
want
shop.
one
That's
for
brilliant.
your beloved?
That's awesome. Love that. Just to get your butt warm.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas
Because one thing we didn't do when we
and happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't. One thing when we did all of the garage, which is great. The chairs are still pretty damn cold.
They're
in there.
metal chairs.
They're metal chairs. Yes. Don't help me piles, none.
No.
So you need to
We've
move.
been
Robin, we need to move. There we go.
We've been sitting on
Right.
foam, haven't we?
We have been. We've been sitting on random offcuts of foam and stuff.
Yeah.
They did the
It was
job.
my old
but
IKEA
nice too.
Poing chair.
Poing.
Foam bits out.
Poing.
Sorry, that's what it's called. Poing.
I thought it's when you just try and force the piece in, it goes
Well, I think
flying
that's why it's
off.
called Poing, because it is springy. I think that's why it's called Poing.
It could be, yeah, cool.
Or it was springy. It's no longer springy.
See, I don't know if you guys got any other hobby-related stuff over Christmas. I got a lovely cushion, and Robin got Blackstone Fortress, he's told the wife he's playing with the kids.
Yes, that's for me to play with the children, because they love to play Warhammer-based games all the time. I've been trying to get them to
Dad, I'm really bored. Shut up! It's my turn, I'm thinking.
My oldest does actually like playing games, but he does like playing Warhammer, but he gets really frustrated with the painting.
I always remember when I was a kid, though, the painting side of it was a bit... I never really did it very much.
I didn't. I mean, it was different when I did it. Certainly when I started, it was all enamel paint, so that was pretty hard work. Yeah. But even when the Citadel colours came, there was very little understanding of how it worked. Now there's much more.
There was no guidance really at all.
No.
In fact, some that I think you might have mentioned last time we did a live session actually is that even when they did do a how to paint thing with some of the experts, they would just basically sort of do you just draw a grid and then paint them in different colours. You're like, that tells me nothing. Yeah. It's a bit like the whole how to draw a unicorn. Yeah. Draw a horse, and it's got like this really intricate picture of a horse, and it goes, then draw a horn on the top. And like, oh, thanks. Yeah. That's brilliant. All I've got to do is be good, and that's all you're telling me. So, but these days, with the different paints you've got, practically does itself.
It does, but I still think there's an age. There's a thing that comes with age is that you realise if you take a little bit longer over it, it will look better. Whereas my son just wants to throw the paint on and it looked brilliant.
Why can't it be awesome? Yeah,
and it doesn't. And
I'm kind of in that stage now. But the thing is now you can throw some base colours on, and whack a wash on it, and it doesn't actually look half bad. No. It's certainly tabletop.
But he is very much a perfectionist, and you're a bit of a perfectionist as well, aren't you? And I'm not. But he very much is a perfectionist, and if it doesn't look how he wants it to look, it's rubbish. So he's been building. We're talking about my son, but he's been building little Lego mini cities this week. Well, because he got some stuff for Christmas, and they don't look. The city doesn't look in his mind how it. Well, sorry, it doesn't look in reality how it was meant to look in his mind. It doesn't look like the book that he's got to follow. So it's rubbish.
Rather than just appreciate the thing you made, which looks awesome.
One, okay, it doesn't look as good as you want, but you can change this, and then it's an iterative process, and you get better and better and better. But it's not what you want. It's at 13.
Just as you get older, you just learn to be happy with what you've done. Yeah. Hello, Rupert. By the way, Rupert's online now. We've got 4 people watching. Hooray. 4 people watching.
Brilliant. Is one of those us still?
Yes. Okay. That's a good point. 3 people watching. I think that is with the painting side of it. It's something you get with age. I think when I first started, I wanted them to look like they were in the White Dwarfs. Everything I painted, I saw back in the the early 90s. You saw the orc models and stuff like that, and like the Death Skull. Were they Death Skull? I can't remember. The ones with the blue skull, blue face paint they'd have on and stuff like that in the 40k orcs and stuff. Okay. And they had the yellow Bad Moon ones that had the black flame design on their jackets and that's what I wanted them to look like, and they never did. And these days I've got much more into the habit of just put some colours on, do some washes, and just see what you get. And it's a bit like I can't remember the name of the painter, the one with the big afro. He's dead now, but he's an American painter, and he do lots of watercolour paintings and stuff.
Bob
Ross, that's it.
He did?
He died ages ago, yeah.
No,
I didn't know that either, because there's lots of memes
and
stuff about him these days.
I didn't know he did.
I take much more of a Bob Ross approach these days to my painting. I just paint it, and I'm happy little accidents, see what happens, come up with stuff, and just see how it goes. So we're looking over here, because we've got the feed over here. Rupert, supposed to be watching. I'm painting and listening. Yes, that does definitely
Bob Ross.
Thank you, Ed. Bob Ross, definitely. That's the guy. Definitely taking more of... I channel my inner Bob Ross these days when I paint. I just put some paint on there and see how it comes out.
You made a neat little segue there, but it was about 5 minutes ago, so it's not that neat now. But you talked about the Bad Moon. Oh, yes. Are you excited about the grots?
I haven't got any time, GW. Please stop doing this.
Yeah, they're calling to you, aren't they? They do some night haunts, some ghosties, and then they've done some goblins.
I painted. I mean, I don't think you guys at home have seen them. Well, they would have been on some of our older AOS, some of our very first videos we did with your Bretonians and my skellies. Yeah. I did a load of ghosty style skellies because I liked that idea. And the models, even the old skeletons, are nice. But then they did a whole night haunt range, and they're just beautiful. Now they bring out all these flipping gits. The gits are bringing out gits, and there's all those squig hoppers and the squig herders.
The fanatics are the best models.
They're all just great, and I've got no time for any of it. I just stop doing it, GW.
Rupert wants the grots too.
Yeah, those grots, they are fantastic, and they're the first ones where I've seen the spells, because you've got the living
big
spells,
mushroom.
and I just won those as well,
Yeah.
and they're just fantastic. All of them are brilliant.
Oh, one thing about talking about painting them though, and finding time to paint them, I have come up with this really good idea. Basically, if you do a YouTube channel and like get people to sponsor you, they will then start sending you painted models. It's brilliant. I thoroughly recommend it.
Ooh. I wonder if that'll work. Of course,
It does work. Yes,
thank you to you guys
yeah.
who have paintings and stuff. Ed and Brain's Gone Blank.
Brandon.
Is it Brandon?
I think it's Brandon. Rupert did the bases, and I think Brandon did the.
Could be Brandon doing the rest of it. I'm going to check, because I don't
So
want
he's
to
been
leave
handling
it
that.
to say to not say thank you, because frankly,
We don't want to say thank you to Brandon if it was somebody else.
Brandon, it is Brandon. Brandon
Thank you, Brandon.
Ed.
Yeah.
and
Thank
Rupert,
you.
frankly, and even the rest of you haven't sent stuff, because you sponsoring us is still freaking amazing. But getting sent stuff at the same time, I think you said to me, or I might have said to you a year or so ago, I've been watching these guys called Mini War Gamers, and they get sent stuff for free from people. Why are people sending them stuff for free when they get paid to do it in the first place? And now we're doing it, so. Oh well.
We don't get paid to do it.
Well,
I see. Our patrons pay. Yeah, that's true. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they then have made enough that they can make a.
They can
yeah,
make a
it's
living.
their day.
I definitely can't make a living. I can't even make a living out of my day job, which is
Nice.
looking after my children.
It'd be nice. Well, yeah. Well, there you go. Then you haven't got to do anything. You've already improved.
Today
on
was long and painful.
it's. I wonder if there's a specific. I know that there's Ed says his paint queue is far too long for the gets. That is true. I mean, my paint queue. Well, I'll just get you to paint my stuff. And I wonder if there's. I know there's a day in January where the divorce lawyers, get busy, where people suddenly go, I've had enough of this.
Duh, 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 Pete announces the end of AOS online.
I wonder if there's a day after Christmas, what day that is, where people just go, I can't be bothered with this now. This is just too much crap.
I've got too much painting.
Well, no, just Christmas.
Oh, I
Just,
see.
You said today's been one of those days.
Oh
where
yeah.
everything's
Well, I think
just,
I made that mistake of thinking, it's all right. We haven't been out today, but that's okay. The children are behaving quite nicely, which was fine until about 3:30. And then they completely melted down,
anymore.
and then it was too late to go out.
Yes, our day was our day. You guys don't really care about this, but we're just going to talk. Unless if you've got questions, do ask them.
If you want to stop us talking about our children, but I could show you some other hobby-related stuff that I've got, because I haven't put a photograph of this yet.
I was just going to say the rest of my day was going fine until about 7, just after 7ish, when I was roughhousing with my oldest, and my youngest came along and punched my glasses off of my face. At that point, it was, you're going to bed.
Sympathise.
Get out.
Sympathise with him though. He's been with you all day.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's fair enough, really, isn't it?
True. I mean, I punched myself. But at the same time, it's got to know, right? Just got literally knocked my glasses flying at that point. My oldest, he knows how to pull his punches a bit more, because he knows his dad's a bit fat and old and fragile. But no, my youngest, that was it. Bed send. Anyway, so there we are. Back to hobby related stuff.
I got Wildlands. Yes, I got Wildlands for Christmas.
Make sure, got it in shot. There you go.
Which is, those you don't know, is by Martin Wallace, who designed the London games and Brass games, and he's quite a much loved game designer by people who played his games. I think I've only played one by him, which I did enjoy.
He's meant to be a bit of a head honcho-y kind of guy in the gaming world.
Well, I believe so. I've played this though, and it's pretty great. I played it once at not the UK Games Expo, Tabletop Gaming Live, and it was very enjoyable. So hopefully we'll bring that. I don't know if anybody's seen it. If anybody wants to see it, but we'll have a quick look under the cover, because it's got minis in it.
We have got a question quickly. Rupert asked us, when GW sent you that first package of stuff, did you know about it in advance?
Which one?
Do you mean the first Shadespire, when Shadespire first came out last year? Is it that one? If you can clarify, we'll answer the question.
But I'll try and answer it without knowing. Basically, I never know.
It's never stopped us before.
I never know quite when Games Workshop are going to send me stuff. I write for Geek Dad, and lots of companies send me bits and pieces to review, and I talk to games companies quite a lot. I'm trying to do it a little bit less because I get too much and I haven't got the time to do it. And I talk to them about lots of publishers with books as well, so I get lots of books through the post. And Games Workshop, I wrote this piece way back when, basically saying they've completely destroyed the old world.
Called The Brave New World, was it?
Foolish New World.
Foolish New World, that's the one.
And what are they doing? This could be... Well, it wasn't really... I was sort of saying, this to me seems mad. Is this going to be the end of Warhammer?
Yeah.
But then I said... So I contacted Games Workshop and said, look, I've done this, but the game looks kind of interesting. If you'd be happy to send me a copy, then I could play it and review it and talk about it and sort of say, well, actually, I'm quite sceptical, but actually this is quite enjoyable. And that they did. And then since then I got on a list, and then every now and again,
The list.
every now and again they send me stuff, but it is really quite random. So Shadespire I wasn't expecting at all. It just arrived.
And when that did arrive, I mean, you hadn't heard anything in advance of that, other than at some point there was an announcement that there was the game Shadespire.
Yeah.
We'd seen some footage that was on YouTube that I think everybody else had seen of them playing this game on a tabletop.
And it arrived quite early, and we were actually going to Warhammer World, and I contacted them and said, "Can I take it with me and play it in Bugman's?" And they said, "No."
Yes, that's true.
It's a secret.
Yes, so you're not meant to.
So you can't. But we got some content up relatively on time for that. But often they'll send me stuff when the pre-order goes out. So the pre-order will hit Saturday, and they'll send me the stuff that will arrive on the Friday, just before the pre-orders are available.
Yes. Sometimes we might get them on like the Wednesday or something like that.
Yeah, and it's like, so if it's like Necromunda, it's kind of like, well, I'm really not going to get this reviewed by
we certainly don't
week.
Get stuff earlier than, because you'll see some channels like
Mini
Wargaming and stuff like that.
Guerrilla Games. Is it Guerrilla Games?
Guerrilla Games, and the guy, I think it's called Winter's SEO, who's a guy who does 40k. Yeah, they get stuff much earlier. Were we hooked on Shadespire Media, or did it take time to get into? We'll get onto that one in a moment. And Rupert said, yes, that's the one, so it was a nice surprise then.
It was, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't get stuff very early.
No.
We don't really get told much about it in advance. We certainly don't hear anything
occasionally
ahead
I get
of
an
you
email.
guys.
So for we also got copies of Dark Imperium and Soul Wars, the new AOS version.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I could get an email in advance saying I would get one.
Yes.
So we knew it was coming.
Shadespire seems to be a little less.
And Nightvolt, I did get an email out of the blue, because I think I remember they released Nightvolt much earlier than I was expecting them to.
Yes.
And we did get an email out of the blue saying that it was going to come, and then there was nothing, and then suddenly it turned up.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, Peter, we got this, which was great. But then, so we were in quite a nice thing, and they invited me onto I did that piece.
Oh, you did?
Soul
Yes,
Wars,
you did a bit on the Soul Wars edition, on those other two starter boxes.
Yeah,
that come with paints and stuff like that.
Actually, on the community website.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I think, this is great.
On the community website with Robin's name on it.
I thought, that's great. I'm really in here.
Yeah.
But then they released Blackstone Fortress and the car one. That's called Speed Freaks. And I got nothing. Like, it's a terrible thing. But they didn't send us the last lot of warbands as well. Previously, they've sent us warbands.
No, yes, we had to buy them with our own monies.
It's a bit up and down when we get stuff. But
we have sent them an email as well, challenging them to a game on their Twitch stream, and we've not heard anything about that.
No, although I did email, because I did a little piece on Geek Dad about which Games Workshop games to buy this Christmas. And I sent it to John and said, thank you for working with us this year. It's been great. And I said, he came back in that email and said, if there's anything you fancy trying to do with us, let us know. So I might follow that up in the new year with...
Just you remember.
Shall we,
The gauntlet is still thrown.
Because we have... The email we sent was only to the community mailbox. It was only to the general mailbox.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And this is into John, who's the head of something or other. I can't remember
Do Blood Bowl, John. Did he head up Blood Bowl?
I don't know.
John? I might be making that up.
I don't think so. It might be. This guy is media relations or something, so it's not. I don't think it's...
Ed's just put, by the way, just clock Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin Lane.
Exactly, yes.
I've gone for a bit more standard. So, yeah, and it was odd. I mean, when we first got that game, I was not interested in the slightest in it.
You weren't interested in playing it. You once we played, you were right, but you were like, oh, do we have almost like, oh, do we have to play it?
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, because it wasn't. I think part of the problem was I thought it was going to be more time. I thought it was going to be more time V2 because they were resurrecting all the games. And I thought more time was going to be the thing. I did like more time
because wasn't Warhammer Skirmish come out around the same time?
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. There was the AOS Skirmish game and stuff, and I thought it was going to be like more time. So there'd be gangs almost and warbands, as it turns out there are, and there would be like that tournament, that kind of league, that progression, that campaign sort of style with it. So I was kind of a bit, it's just a board game with some models and some cards. What are the cards all about? I didn't really like it.
Just describe most of the hobby.
Yeah, well, that's true. but it was the models were almost superfluous to the game.
Okay, yeah.
It was just they were markers almost, and the cards and stuff. And to start with, I didn't really the first game. Although saying that though, when we played the first game, I did enjoy the first game. And yeah, we got hooked from there really. And I think we're the only people really doing Shadespire or Nightfall Underworld's content.
There's a few, lots of seem to be lots of blogs and things springing up. There's not many videos.
Yes, lots of blogs and a few more. What's the word for it? podcasts and things like that. But there's no real. There's a couple of people who do videos every now and then.
Doesn't Davey do one? He's one of our patrons, isn't he?
Yes, does a
podcast
blog. No, I think it's a blog. Might be a podcast.
I thought it was a podcast, but anyway, I have listened to it briefly. Been busy.
Well, if you've listened to it, it must be a podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, that's a good point.
So
I'm sure I've
yes,
listened to it.
So and that one of our other followers was a guy who did, was it Hex Appeal or something like that? Who did a
somebody else who recently joined sent us a link to something.
That's Dave.
Is that no, it wasn't Dave. Amon.
Sorry, yes, you're right. Yeah,
yep.
And so there are a few podcasts, a few blogs and stuff. There's not too many people doing videos to the level that we've done them.
The Battlecast is the only other YouTube channel that puts out. Yes,
Battlecast. He's the guy who and he puts them out less regularly than us. I think he might do them fortnightly, or
doesn't he do other things?
He does do other stuff as well. So I don't know if that's just part of his schedule or whether it's just because he has less time to do it.
The thing for us for Shadespire, it hit the sweet spot that we could get a game in an evening and cut it. And
we could even do two.
Yeah,
two games in an evening.
Whereas 40k. Because Pete often doesn't. Well, by the time everything, families and whatever, got settled down, we don't get ready until 9 o'clock.
So Ed just put. He thinks Andy Hoare headed up the Blood Bowl team. Okay. It might have been Andy Hoare that headed up the Blood Bowl team. Yeah, sorry.
And if you're trying to get a game of 40k or AOS in, and you start at 9 o'clock, you're not going to finish till midnight.
Yeah,
gone midnight.
Yeah, it's painful. Even AOS.
You can't stop. We could now stop with the garage, but when we first started, we couldn't.
Yeah, because we'd set up in a dining room or whatever.
We'd have to play to the end, so sometimes we wouldn't finish till getting on to 1.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And then we'd have to take it all down, and then Pete would have to edit it. So Shadespire hit a sweet spot for us. Not only that, there wasn't people making much content for it, because that was the other thing with the big games, was that loads and loads of people were making content, so we were kind of lost in a maelstrom of people who knew what they were doing.
Yeah, you've got all the big guys who are doing AOS and 40k and stuff like that, and we couldn't really compete with that. We just didn't have the painted terrain, the painted armies, the experience, the knowledge of it, really, to a large extent.
Knowledge of the lore, anything like that, was terrible at.
Yeah.
So that's how we ended up playing Warhammer Underworlds.
That's how we became the Underworlds, the Mirrored City celebs, as someone called us once.
Was it you?
No. Maybe it was.
Anyway, so that
so that was how. We got the game out of the blue. We didn't really even, or I wasn't really even interested in playing it to start with. And it just sort of grew on us, and it grew on the channel. And I think the first few videos we put out, because no one covered them, they went massive. Well, massive for us. They hit like 1,000 views in a week or so, which was insane for us.
And we got them, the followers shot up as well, because people wanted to see.
They did, yes. We had a lot of people, and then we just started trying to get more regular. I think part of what's helped is just we tried to get that more regular. We tried to do it every week wherever possible, and we tried to keep the output going through. And we get the odd detractor from it. Some people say that we're rubbish. Which we are, we certainly are awesome. And every now and then somebody will come along and say you're doing it all wrong. You're not doing your deck reviews right. You're not doing this right.
Camera angles is a big thing.
Camera angles. There was a flare up of camera angles. Everyone's saying the camera angles are rubbish. I mean, we posted a thing on Patreon asking you guys what you thought, and there is going to be battle cam now. There is battle cam.
The Gargant video. We talked about the Gargant video, but I don't think any of you could hear us when we talked about the Gargant video.
Oh, possibly not. No, we did shoot a Gargant video. I'll talk about that in a second. Yeah. But yes, the Gargant video has battle cam, and the other battle we did on that day also has battle cam. So there'll be a third view which will pop up quite regularly. So we are doing more to try and streamline the games, not doing quite as much as the heads up displays of the cards and things, which I don't think most people miss us not having them showing all the time. And frankly, the amount of time it saves me in editing is just phenomenal. Yeah. And you see our hands now with the dice, because I don't edit that bit out, because it's a massive work that I don't think makes a great deal of difference.
More so camera action, nice.
Camera action,
and there's a big chunk there, right? The small, fast-paced action of WU is what I liked. Yes, me too. Grew up playing chess. I was terrible at chess.
We had someone at work decided, we'll put a chessboard in the lunch hall. Well, not lunch hall, but in the kitchen at work. And then you'd see people every now and then sitting there playing a bit of chess, looking very thoughtful. And then me and my mate James went out there one day. Well, let's play some chess, and we set up things like, who starts? Like, you start, rightio. Right, we knew how they moved, and that was about it. We didn't have any tactics at all, so it was a bit like our first game of Warhammer Underworlds, really.
Or indeed all of our games of Warhammer Underworlds.
In fact, if any of you guys haven't watched our first game of Warhammer Underworlds, you should watch it just to see how many things we get wrong. It's embarrassing. They're like, I did 2 damage to you. I think I do 3 damage on this, so I've done 6 wounds. Everyone was getting one-shotted. Everyone was being turned into a
brilliant.
fine red mist, and we're just saying, I don't know, how does this card work? Confusion sounds rubbish. Never going to use it.
Well, we played it pretty much straight out of the box because, as usual, we didn't have time for a preparation game.
No,
We
I think you
played
just about had time to put the models together.
Yeah.
Thank God they were push fit, frankly, and just crashed on from there. And now we're here. Frankly, it's madness. It's
Going
just
back
over
to-
a year and a
sorry.
half later,
Yeah.
and we've got nearly 2.7 thousand subscribers now, and all of you awesome people on Patreon, of course. It's mad.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's just
Going
crazy.
back to the detractors, a few people have been moaning that we don't play competitive enough meta.
Yeah,
I noticed that. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I feel that, frankly, if the meta is what everybody's playing, and it's more fun to play other things. I mean, obviously, you've got to take note of the meta, and the meta's shifted anyway since the restricted list came out. But I kind of feel that, I mean, we don't play uncompetitively.
No,
It's more interesting to try different things. You might find new meta doing that.
I think sometimes our games get quite head thinkery when we're doing certain stuff, and certainly bakes my brain when I'm trying to do it. It might be very simple things I'm trying to do, but it certainly does cause my headaches to come flaring up.
I mean, it would be easier to play decks that everybody was playing because they wouldn't need to think. I mean, I don't know how many hours you spend playing a deck, but I spend probably more time than I should trying to work out a deck.
Ed says he watched our 5-hour Blood Bowl video again the other week. That was a mammoth game. That was a mammoth game. I'd like to think that anybody who's never played Blood Bowl before might get a fairly good grounding in the rules from it, because we did take a long time going through that.
Screw the meta. Yay.
Yeah, screw the meta. Screw the meta. I kind of hate and I don't want to detract from anybody who does reference it a lot, but I do hate the reference to the meta, especially when all the cards and all the warbands aren't out yet. You just don't know what that is.
Excellent. Cheers, guys. That's good to know.
That's what I'm saying. For me, I don't think you should do meta. For me, you're playing the average gamer. Yes. Thank you all. You're all awesome. I mean, you might all be biased because you are all, you are all sponsors on Patreon. But frankly, this is the kind of this is the feedback loop I enjoy, and I wholeheartedly agree with you all. Because if we played the meta, we'd have a very similar set of cards every single week.
Which is kind of where we were going before the ban and restricted list going.
Well, that's why we kind of picked up the faction fraction.
But I think I might pick this up in the new year. I kind of feel like it's starting to go that way again. I don't know whether you guys have found this in your games. I kind of noticed myself taking the same.
We do take a lot of similar
cards. Not so much objectives, but the power cards. I've noticed that
there are certain
Spectral Wings sneaks in there a lot.
Spectral Wings is quite often there now, as is Thingy Advanced, the one which enables you to move two people at once. That's a very handy card to have. And yet, I mean, a lot of cards like Twist the
Crystal,
Knife,
I think, has been in every deck I've done since the ban and restricted list.
It's just a really good card.
Yeah.
And there are some objectives that you nearly always take, like Extreme Flank.
There are additional objects, but I suppose I don't notice that so much because I tend to play other ones around it. You're right. My restricted objectives are nearly always the same.
Yeah,
with maybe slight different depending on what.
Because there's advance and strike.
I always play escalation.
Escalation, yeah.
I always play Fired Up. What's the other one?
But Fired Up isn't one of the restricted cards, I don't think.
Is it not?
I don't think so. I'm going to find out.
I think it is. Dashed Hopes isn't. But I can't remember now.
Let's have a look.
I don't get to play. Oh.
So, on the ban list, Fired Up is on there. Yes, you're right. So, on there you've got Advancing Strike, Alone in the Darkness, Change of Tactics.
I haven't played Alone in the Darkness since the restricted list because without Great Concussion, it's a much worse card.
It's a hard card to get, but when you've got the other cards, like the one which enables you to move to your people, that can be quite invaluable. And you've also got Distraction. I've played Distraction once or twice since the cards.
Yes.
And before the bar list, Distraction had pretty much died a death for me.
Yeah, I've played Distraction. I've played Distraction to stop Supremacy, which I used to play Great Concussion for.
There's, of course, one card that we nearly always have in our decks from the bar list, which is
Ready for Action! Yeah, there you go.
And
not at all embarrassing doing that live.
Did have a chance. Harmonies. Me. No, lost it. Start again. What are the cards? Oh, there's and again on the upgrades list, cards I'm much more likely to take from the bar list include Deathly Fortitude or Sudden Growth and things like that. Are much more likely. What else?
Rupert and Ed are arranging a date here. in the comments. That's nice.
Aww. It's nice that we can always bring in gamers together.
And somebody else, that's Damien, isn't it, has agreed that the bar list, you still find yourself taking the same cards.
Yes, there are certain ones that are definitely more appealing than others. But then that's why, because in the non-Gargant, in the other game we played Eyes versus Swarm, which was a very different set of cards for me. So I played a very different list, and you'll see next week what that's all about. Once I've actually recorded the deck video and put that up. Working on the actual game this week, hopefully. But because it was a different deck to the normal offense sort of Skaven deck, I had a lot of different cards.
It kind of ties back into what we were saying. If I played the meta, there's absolutely no way I would have played that Eyes of the Nine deck.
No.
I was just trying something else to see whether it would work, and it was weird. Well, I won't spoil it, but we had a good game. Either way, whatever happened.
Exactly, and I think just reading everything over, blah blah blah. Make sure we cut with one. And I think if we kept to the meta, I think people would get rather bored. I'd get bored, and also people go on about how some and we're getting a bit hung up on this, I know, but some people did complain about the meta, and I think it's a baseless argument because the video is only useful whilst that meta is in place, and it only takes a few weeks for that meta to become outdated,
especially
and the videos are going to become outdated within a few weeks anyway.
Yeah,
so
our old videos are useless now, really, the very old ones, because there's so many more cards about
it. But when you go back to like our first few games of Garrick versus Severin, or when the first warbands came out, you've got so few cards in there. It's like this is an average at best deck with what was there at the time.
And the meta, like you say, the meta changed all the time. So they had the banned and restricted list, that changed everything. It's probably going to be end of January, beginning of February. There's going to be another 2 warbands out, which is going to be another whole host of cards. So the meta will change again.
Yeah, exactly.
Be interesting to see what comes out then.
So there's no point in trying to
perhaps next live thingy we'll talk about what cards we'd like to see or that we like if it is out by then. Next one will be roughly the end of January, so I reckon that might hit the time the cards are hitting.
Come the next Underworld's release, everything.
If you're really lucky, you'll get the live stuff around the same time as we get the warbands.
Oh yeah,
we can perhaps do a little sneaky peek.
Yeah, a little sneaky peek. And if we do that, it will be on a Wednesday evening, and it might be that we've got the warbands before they come up for pre-order or anything. Maybe. I mean, you've already seen the models, so we're not.
Yeah, we might have a non-disclosure thing there.
Well, that's a good point.
But we'll see what we can do.
Maybe
we'll get you to sign the official Secrets Act and not tell anybody.
But you know we won't, because we're on Patreon, none of them are on there. So
unless one of you sneaky ones screen caps it.
But of course you do that, then we get shut down and you don't get any of our entertainment anymore, so one hand washeth the other.
Pete needs a bath, I think that's what he's saying.
And someone's looking forward to playing the Barbarians. Damien? Yeah, I am. I think the 2 next warbands, I'm most looking forward to the Barbarians. You're most looking forward to is it, I can't remember the Trolls name.
I'm actually most looking forward to seeing what new cards come. I'm not looking forward to playing either warband. I want to see some better cards for the Eyes of the Nine come.
I'm interested to see what the Trolls, what his stats are going to be like.
In that,
because he's got to be harder than Storm. He's got to be harder than Fuel. Right.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. Is it going to be a 6-7 wound model? Are we going to see that? And the other things, I mean, they're pretty pathetic, the other models. So that guy's...
Do you think he'll inspire?
Troggoth, thank you, Ed. It is the Troggoth, but I can't remember the name of the Troggoth. That's not IPable. You've got to be Troggoth. Yeah. But I can't remember. It's got a name. It's like Moggoth the Troggoth. I don't know. Moggoth the Trog. I don't know. And yes, the Barbarians do seem like they'll be Reavers, but with magic. Mainly, but there's more models, a lot more models than the Reavers, because I think they've got 6 or 7.
Have they? Wow. Okay.
Well, it might be 5 or 6.
I haven't noticed that.
But there's more than Garrick. Poor old Garrick. And I bet you they've got 2 dodges when they inspire. Every warband seems to get 2 dodges when they inspire. Now, not poor old Garrick and his.
Do you think the Troggoth's inspire condition might be like the Gargants, where when he starts to take heavy damage, he inspires?
Could be,
gets cross and really quite nasty. We did play a quick Gargant game.
Yes, so coming on to the Gargant
it's
game,
going to come out tomorrow.
Earlier.
Yeah, it's going to come out tomorrow. We already said this while you guys couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
It's going to come out tomorrow. I don't want to spoil it too much. Things got a bit silly. There were mistakes were made.
Some mistakes were made. Yeah. One major one being we couldn't work out how pushback worked. How does pushback? How do you drive back the Garg? Because he's on 2 hexes.
And what's really weird is that GW printed all those cards afterwards with the exact same rules written on it after we played.
Yeah.
It was really strange.
I know.
And then it was written right on the card
at the very top.
It doesn't push back.
Cannot be driven back.
And we both missed it completely.
So there was a little bit of about that. I don't think it made too much difference to the game overall.
Well, the way we played it, effectively, he couldn't be pushed back. He could only be pivoted.
He could sort of be pivoted
so
on
it
one
didn't
hex,
really didn't spoil things.
No, it didn't really. No. So overall, we missed a couple of little bits. It was mostly for entertainment because I think the decks you guys gave us, obviously you hadn't had a chance to try them against the Troggoths, so they were.
No, and as soon as you,
a
bit like most games actually, as soon as you start playing it in anger, you realise that you need certain things. And like with the Chosen Axes are in many ways a really bad warband to play against the Troggoth because of the way they inspire.
Yes, they're a tricky one.
Because you have to because well, you'll watch the video and you'll see. But yes, there's a definite rule in there that's suddenly like, oh, well, now I'm stuffed. So you can watch that. And
things change at that point. And I'm not going to tell you
when the penny drops.
But something happens, and
it's good.
Yeah. So that's a great game, and we were talking about maybe trying to put that in as a slightly more regular feature, or a Beat the Gargant back rep, and see if you guys can come up with decent,
Molog's Mob.
Molog's Mob, Molog the Troggoth.
6 with the doggo. Somebody's come up and said.
Yeah, so that must
be the
barbarians have 6 with the dog.
Well, they've got a dog as well, haven't they?
They do have a dog. Yeah, it's becoming more of a feature
Let's
now.
get those bets for the end of 2019.
So what's coming at the end of this year for Warhammer Underworlds 3? Is there going to be a Warhammer Underworlds 3?
Yes.
You reckon?
Yes.
You reckon?
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, they're churning out so much stuff. They wouldn't not release a Warhammer Underworlds 3.
And it's getting bigger and bigger. The game's getting bigger. I mean, our viewership shows how it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So
2.7 thousand.
They will definitely bring out more stuff. What do I think is going to be in there? I suppose you've got to look at what's missing. There's going to be
someone's put flying. Will there be flying?
Flying isn't the squig thing.
There is a flying squig, so maybe we'll see something. And then the squig might have the ability that he can pass through occupied hexes, a bit like the ghosties kind of already have flying.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
2019, I reckon Nurgle.
I fucking hope so.
You what? You really hope so?
I fucking hope so. I've been wanting Nurgle since the first season because they didn't tell us all of the war. Well, we kind of knew actually for the first season what the warbands were. In the second one, there was nothing in the book. You're like, oh, it's going to be a secret. Then 2 days later, like, here's a video with all of them. Yeah. We're not giving you any secrets here. Like, oh, okay. Kind of ruined the surprise a little, but there we go.
Nurgle.
I would really like Nurgle. I would really, really like Nurgle.
I think.
Yeah. What else? I guess you've got to look at what the warbands that are going to be coming out, because they've done Nighthaunt. Nighthaunt came out recently, so Nighthaunt were in there. You've got Stormcast, obviously, in abundance.
Slaanesh. They've got Slaanesh models. Yeah.
Maybe there'll be Slaanesh, because Slaanesh. But then
demons. There could be a demony. There haven't been any demons yet, have there?
Has Slaanesh come out of sequence though? Maybe.
Slaanesh comes all the time.
Whatever he likes, and it's always on time. I can't remember the. I was going to feed in with the
Seraphon. Yeah, unless they Seraphon will only be if they're going to do a AOS revamp.
I think there needs to be an AOS revamp for them to turn up, because you've got Gits. What's just coming out?
Well, they almost like herald it, don't they?
I think they get developed side by side, which is why I wonder if Slaanesh is going to miss out, because the Daughters of Cain have missed out, and Nurgle were ages ago now, so maybe they've missed out. I can't work out what they're going to do next.
No,
but then I guess saying that the Flying Dwarves were a while ago, and they're just turning.
It depends as well on whether they're going to write off. Are they going to write off old editions as well? So is third going to make first obsolete? Because if it does, then they can rehash
what
they've already done. Not ready for action anymore.
I don't like that. I don't know.
Well, that's not to say they can't recycle cards.
No, that's true.
But they could recycle the warbands.
Readier for action. Yeah, that is one thing that's going to start getting to me, is the number of just the sheer volume of cards.
Rupert says Seraphon are going to get an upgrade.
Wink. Does Rupert know something we don't? Is Rupert actually what's his name in disguise?
Ian Livingstone.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say the guy who's on
Ted
the
Naismith.
Warhammer channel.
Sorry?
Quite often, I was going to say the guys on the Warhammer channel quite often who played on the last Twitch live Warhammer Underworld game.
Okay, yeah, I don't know his name.
No, I can't remember it now.
Terrible with names like that. Duncan.
No, that's not Duncan. Are you? Are you Duncan?
Are you the...
Do you wear two thin coats?
Are you, what's her name? Becca Scott.
Who stares off that way?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to you about this game now. I know the cameras.
We were talking about that enough. Oh no, Rupert's kidding. Oh, Rupert, we thought for a moment you were Becca Scott.
Oh.
The game is growing indeed. Yes, it is growing. Absolutely. But talking of the channel growing and the game growing, and do you think we should plough on every week with Warhammer Underworld?
Yes.
Or would you like us to try and regularly add some new stuff in? Now, this is not really a massive quorum viewership because there's only 3 or 4 of you watching. But you know.
But these guys give us more.
Oh yeah.
Than the average.
I mean, I'm talking about that, even in the Patreon terms.
Yeah. True.
But do you want to see us play out? So I mean, I got Wildlands. I'm very intrigued to do at least one game of Wildlands because it's.
David's already jumped ahead, so do what makes you feel happy and have fun with. I'm just going to sleep for 3 hours. Watch our peak. We're doing it for the viewers. Oh dear, and back to regular timetable. Give me my phone. What have you got my phone for? Give me a big
we're definitely going to play Wildlands, and if we're going to do it to have fun with, because I really want to play it, and it's a bit like Shadespire. And Pete, I may have mentioned this, but there's an undead warband coming.
Is there? You haven't mentioned that once
yet.
Yeah,
there's an undead warband coming. So Wildlands is Shadespire-esque. In fact, the other reason I want to play it is because I don't know if anybody else gets Tabletop Gaming Magazine. I think I did mention this in our last live video. I think. Martin Wallace, who made Wildlands, was a bit sniffy about Shadespire.
Was he?
In his interview with him in Tabletop Gaming Live, Tabletop Gaming Magazine. He's a bit sniffy. Yeah, because he's a proper game. He sees himself as a proper game designer. And it was interesting. So I'm kind of interested to see how it plays. He feels that having dice in it
ruined the game.
Kind of.
I've made that bit up. I don't know if he said ruined it.
He didn't say ruined it, but he kind of feels like it's not exactly not a proper game.
About the card,
but it's adding a random factor into it, so it weakens the game. That's probably how.
See, I think you.
So I'm intrigued to play it anyway. And we'd also definitely like to do a regular Blackstone Fortress.
Yes, because Blackstone Fortress has a obviously a campaign setting through
narrative,
it, and we did do a Warhammer Quest game where you created your own. What have we got? Got another comment. I know it can't be a regular, but I would like to see the odd Warhammer Quest or other narrative RPG based game. Well, Warhammer Quest, Blackstone Fortress, as I had only just been noticed, as Robin
really
pointed out to me earlier.
Wrist to pick it up.
It does. Luckily, I have strong wrists. It does say right there, Warhammer Quest.
I hadn't realised it was Warhammer Quest.
Warhammer Quest. Oh, it's Warhammer Quest. I didn't notice that. So,
and we've also got this one, which we might try and do some games of too. We're going to play that after you've gone. After we've gone. We're going to play that. See whether we might put that on the channel.
Yes, I mean we are aware that a big pull for all you guys, and obviously one of the reasons why you guys came on board in the first place was Warhammer Underworlds.
Yeah,
and we do like playing it.
We do,
and it does fill up a lot of our time.
However, somebody there very kindly commented that it's watching us enjoy ourselves is what draws them now.
We are amazing to watch. Oh dear.
I don't even know where to go with that.
Just say yes.
Yes, dear. You are amazing to watch.
And first person said it to me. And so we do want to keep that a fairly regular thing, but we do struggle with having the time to put in other stuff around the edges.
Yeah.
So we would have to say we might do 2 weeks of Warhammer Underworlds. We could do the third week would be our best of 3 Warhammer Underworlds because we try and get that in monthly as well.
Yeah.
And then maybe the fourth week would be like a Blackstone Fortress week.
Yeah.
We do also have our live thing, what we're doing now. So,
yeah, that's another thing.
However, we could get... See, this is the thing we do. I just sit here trying to work out over and over in my head is that when we play Warhammer Underworlds twice, we could get 4 games of that in. And then you've got the third week we do a best of 3, but can we get all of that in?
You're now looking directly into Pete's brain.
Yeah, so it starts to get
transmission
complex.
Might break up a little bit.
But we could possibly do 2 weeks where we record 4 games, and then the next time around we only do 1 week and record 2 games. and then we've got 6, which we can split, and then carry the 3, and then divide it by the atomic weight of it's. I don't know. Anyway,
So now you see why I just turn up.
so it's trying to find a balance there where we can regularly get in games, so that we can get in, say, 2 weeks of Warhammer Underworlds, a week with a best of 3, because I enjoy those, and I think you.
Yeah, I do enjoy those.
And
Yeah.
I think you guys enjoy
Yeah.
seeing those best of 3s because they really do highlight how the decks do and how you can work to what your opponent's playing, what you've got. And then the 4th week could then be our other game week. The only problem with that is obviously if it's only every 1 week in 4, you're only going to get 12 of those in a year, so you kind of want to stick to the same game at least for a good 3-4 months worth to get a feel for the game. And so if we did something like Blackstone Fortress or Warhammer Quest, we could do that. And it would actually carry across. And
Yeah, I think we're at the stage now where we can regularly get in Warhammer Underworlds and get that out to you every week, and do the best of 3 as well.
Rupert says you should have got me some colour markers and a whiteboard, not a cushion.
I think that's absolutely right. I should have done.
There's spreadsheets. There's Google spreadsheets that are filled with craziness. So
And also, Rupert says that we should definitely do something else because it will bring people to Warhammer Underworlds.
well, that is the thing. I mean, we are
business sense there, yeah,
we are sort of spokespeople in a way for Warhammer Underworlds, and if we can lure people in with other stuff as well, then maybe they'll stay for that.
Just for, I would like to think we were spokespeople for just friendly gaming and not taking things too seriously.
I think so, because one thing I can't abide.
Well, you can't see me when I'm taking seriously.
Well, yeah, God, he does get a bit stressy sometimes. I've had the number of times I've had to edit out him flipping the table and just go, "I don't play it anymore. It's a stupid game."
But it's funny. We keep going off and off on tangents.
We do. I don't think they mind.
No, it's when I'm playing the game, I get if it's going really badly, I hate it. If I just can't get,
you want those cards come out the way you want them.
or just the dice don't work, and I get really stressed. If we're having a really, really good game that's close, it doesn't matter who wins or loses.
No.
But if I'm being hammered, then I start to get really peed off.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
you can see my
we've had it the other way around as well, where I'm losing badly as well. And it's very hard to enjoy a game when you're losing terribly just because the cards sometimes you just built a bad deck.
Yeah.
And you just sit there going, "This is the worst deck in the world. It's a Skaven deck. Why am I playing with this?" And it's just terrible. Sometimes the dice just don't agree with you. It doesn't matter what you roll, you're not going to get it.
I don't think we do. Somebody's just asked, do we keep an ongoing score of who has won more? I think we both think it's us.
We haven't. Yeah, it's definitely me.
Yeah, it's definitely me.
No, I think from the first season you had definitely won the lion's share of games. I think you had won a lot more games than I had.
I think it's more equal this time, definitely.
I think I might have won more.
Yeah, you might have done.
I might have won more. Partially just because I played the Night Haunts in those first few games against the Stormcaster. Their starter deck is just so much better.
We've also definitely both had games where I feel like we have, where you're absolutely, it's testament how good Warhammer Underworlds is, where you feel like you're absolutely pining your opponent into the ground.
Yeah.
So you just ease off slightly because you don't want to be. It's embarrassing, and you don't want to. and then suddenly you nearly lose.
Yeah.
Or the person comes right back in it, and you think, "Oh my God, if I should have gone for the kill," but you don't actually know what that is because sometimes people just reveal.
Just suddenly bang, bang, bang. There's suddenly they've got 6-7 glory, and you're just sitting there going, Oh God!
Yeah,
it's a bit like that Stormcast versus Reavers game. If you haven't watched it yet, do watch it. It's a very good game. And I won't tell you the final result, but at the end of the first round...
Peter's definitely won more roll-offs.
Yes, I have. Yeah, you have done really badly in the first setup.
It's
and
hilarious.
I should build my decks around that
It's
more.
Hilarious.
Because I keep building decks. I just need 3 objectives in my half. Oh, for God's sakes, I've won the roll again. I've lost the thread of where I was going with that. Oh, the Reavers versus Cursebreakers game. By the end of the first phase, you had like 8 or 9 glory.
I've scored all my cards.
You'd used nearly all of your objective cards. You did have to get rid of your starting 3, I think.
3, yeah.
But you had about 8 or 9 glory at the end of the first phase. Like, how the hell am I going to come back to that? But without telling you how it finishes,
it was really close at the end.
It certainly wasn't a whitewash by the end of it, and it was a very different result at the end than we thought it was going to be. At the end of the first time. Now I've got to go and do something in the kitchen. I'll be back in a minute. So Robin's going to entertain you for a minute, and I'll be back because the wife's just texted me telling me to do something. So I'll be back in a moment.
We could just sort of say goodbye because it's 10:05.
Yeah. Okay. Just let me go and do this, and I'll come back and say goodbye.
Okay, Pete's running off, guys. It's very difficult to hold up my own end of conversation. So I don't know what to say, Pete. I don't know what he's doing. What is he doing? What his wife suddenly texted him? He's had to run off. How often does that happen in your life? He's returned. He's back. So that was really quick. I think that's par for the course from Pete, from what I've heard. When he, yes, there we go. I left and I immediately reduced it to smudge.
Yes.
In the window.
So yeah, we. So I think the upshot is you guys at least are quite happy to watch us playing other things. So we shall probably try and get something. In.
I say the problem is we've got the rhythm going now and getting the Underworld's content out.
Yes.
But getting extra things in just always seems to fall off.
Whenever we try, it always ends up dropping away, and I
Yeah.
think we have to just accept the fact that we are going to lose a game of Underworlds.
I think so.
To that.
Yeah.
And it's just building up enough.
So we need
ahead
another
of
game.
time.
Actually, we need another game that has fairly simple mechanics. Because Kill Team we thought would be it, but actually the mechanics are just that little bit too complicated to maintain a meaningful game.
I think the problem with Kill Team is it's 40k done in a skirmishy scale, and the rules aren't quite skirmish enough.
No.
But Necromunda is a bit more like Frostgrave, and it has a much more I go you go on moving and everything.
All right, now that Pete's gone now, just tell us how you really feel about him.
I don't have to be gone for Robin to tell you that.
I love him.
Oh. Peace to all.
Yeah, and also the Kill Team has a big overhead outside of the game as well, because that's a real killer for me. I don't know how you guys find
outside of the game.
Outside of the game, you've got to paint your models. You've got to choose your war badge. You've got to pick your members. You've got to have choose all the weapons and all that kind of thing. Yeah. And then if you're going to we were trying to do lots of different war bands each week. That's a big overhead.
I think that's the thing again. If we were going to do something like that, we'd have to pick. If we say did Necromunda, we would just have the two war bands.
Yes,
and we would just build on those two war bands.
Whereas we kind of got this is fairly good. I do spend a reasonable amount of time deck building in the week, but I think that's manageable. Yeah. Whereas a game that you could just pick up and come to and play will be good.
Well, I think because we try and build a different deck,
which is why Keyforge might be good, because you just have to play with the deck that you're given.
I'm afraid I just track of the Kill Team game.
Lost track.
Yeah. Here is the spanner in the works. What is it, Ed? Too much stuff to choose? Or is that what the spanner in the works is?
I want to know what the spanner is, Ed.
Or is it just the fact there's just too much stuff to choose? Could be.
I say yes.
But it is. There is too much there. I think if you had something like Necromunda or something like that, where you just have a gang, that would be easier to maintain. Would it get a bit boring though if it was just the same two gangs each week? I mean, this is where people like Mini War Games they've just got the resource to throw behind it. They can have 6 or 7 people play a campaign. They can throw out a different two teams fighting against each other because everyone's got their own one. Yeah. So there's plenty of stuff there.
Which I mean, I'm always looking for the next thing. Cause we tried Star Wars Legion at one point, didn't we? Okay, has a leveling up element. That's true.
Lord of the Rings battle companies. Ooh. Robin, don't do that. Don't do that.
Keyforge, you can't choose your deck, but you can easily buy relatively cheaply new decks.
Yes.
So you could play a few times and get a new deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, it would be different. So, but it depends on whether other people want to watch people play Keyforge. I have no idea.
There is Keyforge YouTube content out there. So would you guys like to see Keyforge maybe? I mean, that one would be probably very quickly be something we can do because that removes you can literally turn up open the deck and play a game once you know.
Because Champions didn't take off for me. You enjoyed it a little bit more than me. Warhammer Champions collectible card game.
I didn't mind it online because you could very easily build up the in-game currency required to buy the cards that you wanted.
Okay.
So I knew that I wanted 3 of a certain card.
And you could get
I could just create those cards and put them into my deck. Whereas in real life, I've either got to go on eBay and spend 30 quid for 3 bloody cards, which I'm not going to do after the first time, or I have to go and buy a load of random packs.
I really like the mechanics of the game, but I don't know how the way it plays out. It's bizarre. I like the way it plays. No, I like the way it looks, and I like the idea of it. But when you actually try and play it out, I find maybe I haven't played for a little while, but the destruction thing was just like, well, that's what everybody's playing, and it's a bit boring.
I think it's changed a bit now.
I have heard it's changed.
Moved around a lot.
But I don't know quite how it didn't engage me. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I think for me it was just the fact that if you want to play the game, and it's part of what how these things make their money, is that you just gotta you either go online like our friend did, and you go and buy a deck ready built off eBay
Okay.
for like 60, 70 quid, and you think that's a ridiculous amount of money to pay for 30 odd cards, but then you realise very quickly you could spend 60, 70 quid and not get any of the
You
cards.
get a lot
you
more
want.
cards, but
And I've
more
gone
be duff.
through, I've gone through all the cards that I have currently got, which I mean, we've been very lucky that we've been sent the boxes of the cards, and we bought some at price from places as well. But I've got like that many cards that are all valid ones to use, and that many cards that are repeats and swapsies.
Yeah, and I think that didn't help me. There were too many swapsies, and you there's not much you can't do. I found you couldn't do very much variation. A bit unlike Underworlds, where you've got a reasonable amount of variation, different types of deck you can play.
You can vary.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's one of those things I need to get more into the game.
Yeah,
but I just kind of found that it kind of played in the same way for me.
I think especially with the new cards that have come out, it has changed it up a lot more. Because
Right.
before, if you played this, it was nearly everyone was destructured. The people had zoomed in on the most effective deck to play with,
which
very
is
quickly.
always happens.
Which is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think the new cards have come out and everything's up in the air at the minute. But I did see a lot more different warbands when I went on and played a lot of the new
Maybe
new
it's
cards.
just the actual gaming experience itself doesn't vary, even though the tactics do. Actually, it's still just turning cards, and
you still got your lanes.
When you've got,
like
which makes it a way like Keyforge, but when you've got Warhammer Underworlds, you're moving things about and you're rolling dice, and the game is different. Each game is potentially different.
Yeah, true.
I don't know what it is. We've kind of digressed. I think we probably waffled on enough.
I think we have. Yes. I think we should probably, unless you guys have any last minute questions you want to ask, we should probably end it there this evening. So I think the upshots are, for the most part, we've had a great Christmas, and hopefully you have too.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah,
we've got some new hobbying stuff here that we'll hopefully bring to you on the channel. Maybe some Blackstone Fortress in the new year.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll replace a game of Underworlds once a month with a Blackstone Fortress episode.
And if you guys like it, maybe we can start doing Patreon only Blackstone.
Oh yeah, that's an idea.
Don't know how that works.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Neither do I. But then everything changes one minute to next. Yeah. And hopefully, come the end of January, we'll do our third live session, and maybe we'll have some other warbands to talk about at that time.
Oh yes. Right, guys.
So that's us.
Thank you for joining us.
You guys have had a wonderful Christmas, and hopefully you have a great New Year. I mean, personally, I'm a bit of a bar humbug when it comes to New Year. I go to bed early on the 31st. I'm not a New
Year person. I stay up till midnight.
I
stay up till midnight most nights. So it's not really anything special. But my kids stay up late, and we have party food, but I don't go out. And so I don't know what you guys.
I remember years and years and years ago, I went over to a friend's house. We're up till midnight, getting very drunk. My wife, who was only my girlfriend at the time, because I was probably still in my late teens. Probably still in my late teens at that point, and. The clock struck midnight, and I rang my wife, or my girlfriend at the time, to say, I love you. And what I got was my father-in-law to be saying, Pete, she's in bed, she's got flu. Go away. Like, okay, I'm sorry, Steve. And I hung up, and then immediately dialed her again. 3 times. Until finally they got her out of bed to say, will you just off, you idiot. It's midnight.
And she's been saying that to him ever since.
Pretty much, yeah. So that's it. Hope you have a great New Year.
You.
Yeah, idiot. Who's the bigger idiot now? Hey? So hopefully you guys have a great New Year. We are hoping to bring you
content,
even more
games.
What's this? So a live New Year Warhammer Underworlds game. Maybe next year. You never know.
What, at midnight? Bring in the New Year playing Underworlds. We don't do much. Interesting idea.
Oh yes, Ed. We have got your Discord stuff that we still want to look at. That is on my list. Promise.
Yeah, I have to say, my dad was in hospital in December, and December just went mental. So I haven't caught up on any of the things that I was meant to do, and so Pete's catching up on those as well. So
I've had the task for the last 2 months to create my character for our new role-playing game with our role-playing group that we've been playing with for the last 10, 15 years or whatever it is. It's taken me 2 months to do that, and you can do it all online. It literally does it. What is it called? D&D
Beyond.
D&D Beyond, which is a great online D&D resource. Yep. You have to have a Twitch account, but if you've got a Twitch account, you can go and use it, and it's free, and create characters on there and stuff. And it does it all for you. It's still taking me 2 months to do. So
we're also getting, Pete hasn't done, but
bye, Ed. Ed's got to go back to work.
See you, Ed. Pete is also we are getting some nameplates.
Oh,
to stop me from forgetting who's who.
Yeah.
So, and that's another thing Pete's been wrestling with.
Yeah, I finally did that.
We are
order
getting
today.
nameplates for the whole lot. Ka-chong!
Everyone's costing us about 85 quid, but we are going to put nameplates.
That's your
on all the
Patreon
models.
money, effectively, as going on things like getting nameplates for the thing, which will be visible because we're now using Battle Cam.
They will be, yeah.
Yeah, which
They
is
will.
one of the reasons we're doing
Do we
it.
put the names on the front of the back? We'll have to put them on the back. So you can actually see your warband.
Yeah, you'd have to
You
put
have
them
to
on
keep
the back.
turning it around.
Let's put them on the back. Yeah, okay, that's
Unless
true.
we get them for the front and the back.
Yeah.
Another 85 quid.
I
Definitely do
hadn't
that.
really thought about that. Well, yeah.
But we do that. I'm really looking forward to those when they arrive. And yeah, so that's pretty much
Yes,
it.
we'll go now. We really will go.
Yeah,
Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Thank you for supporting
Enjoy
us
the
this
garden
year.
game tomorrow. It should make you laugh, if nothing else.
Hopefully it'll at least make you laugh.
We'll come up with some plans in the new year and let you know what they are. I might
And-
just shoot a new little Patreon video for you or something.
And maybe next year we'll start to get out of the house a bit more. Maybe we'll get along to a London event. Maybe.
Who knows?
Anyway, Happy New Year, guys. Thank you for your support this year, and hopefully next year on the up even further. We'll see you next year.
Bye.
And now you get to watch us stand here looking
Coco,
a bit,
yeah.
bit pausing, bit
Remember
God.
to go, not say, oh, fuck Christ, that's over.
Bye.